What up, everybody? Welcome to Legacy TV and the Convo Podcast. And man, you know we've been on the road. We've had some of the best coaches in the world. We've had some of the best fighters in the world. Just legends of MMA, you know, legends of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And you guys know I'm from Santa Ana. I rep my city to the fullest. And, you know, I have been keeping my eye on this young man here for a little while now, and I actually wanted to have him on the podcast already in mind, but I was like, let him have a couple more fights. I know he's about to bubble. Let him really do something, because I know he's going to do something big in a second, and then I'll bring him on. And then boom, what happens? LFA champion. We got Richie Miranda, El Machete in the house. What's up, dog?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome, bro. Thank you for coming through, man. Mm-hmm. You know, I love Santa Ana to the fullest, bro. So I see you the way you rep the town, and we got a lot of talent coming out of here. So we got to start letting them know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Born and raised here in Santa Ana, you know, and always repping 714, and you know, thank you for having me.
For sure, bro. It's an honor. Thank you for coming. We actually got the belt right here too, the newly crowned lightweight belt. Doug, before we get into the belt and all that, you know, because this is stuff I wanted to know as well. I'm always so curious to know, like, the path that leads someone to becoming a fighter, and then, you know, to be able to make it to the top. It's a journey, and I noticed you had a big amateur career as well. So let's start from the beginning, bro. Like, tell me your upbringing, what it was like in Santa Ana. You know what I mean? Because for those of you that don't know, in Santa Ana, I don't care what nobody say about it now, but it used to crack out here. It used to be crazy out here in Santa Ana. So what was it? Give me your experience growing up in Orange County in Santa Ana. What was it like for you, bro?
For me, it was good, bro. You know, like, my family was pretty good of keeping us in school, you know, keeping us staying out of trouble. But you know, went to Madison Elementary, then, you know, Via, and then got into Segerstrom, started wrestling there. And, you know, that's when I first fell in love with combat sports. Was
there any, like, in the area you grew up, was there any Mexican gangs? Because for those of you that don't know, Santa Ana is, like, a lot of Mexican gangs.
Yeah. So, I mean, by Madison, you know, there was Lopers and stuff like that. Yeah, Main Street.
Shout out them. So, shout out, respect to all them.
But those were some, you know, and then Delhi, you got Delhi and Warner, but... I mean, I was never too much into that.
You know, good. You shouldn't. You know,
just stayed on the path of just, you know, wrestling, and you know, I grew up watching boxing fights with my dad, so that was one of the first ones too.
You grew up wrestling like from youngster? Like, how old did you start wrestling?
I started at 14, so freshman year in high school.
High school. Mm-hmm. What made you go, like, were you doing any other sports before that?
So I played a little bit of soccer, you know, and then just, like, tried out for every sport, but didn't get into any. So, you know, wrestling was the one that brought everybody in, so that's where I started.
What was it about wrestling that you liked? Like, tell me, like, what was it about wrestling that you were like, oh, I want to do this?
Just the competitiveness, you know. You know, and just, I mean, I was getting my butt kicked from the beginning, and I started slowly doing better. But the first time I really fell in love with it was my first, like, preseason match. So I remember I was, like, all tired, scrambling back and forth. And then, you know, at the end of the match, I win, like, 9-8, and my hand gets raised. And I was like, damn, you know, like, that was a good feeling.
It's a great feeling to win. Yeah.
And then I got smoked the next two matches, but, you know, at least I got one. So, yeah,
but winning, just winning is an incredible feeling.
Yeah.
It's an incredible feeling. Let me ask you something. Did you like wearing the singlet?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I mean, now they got shorts.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I've said this before in the pod. I was gonna wrestle. I was gonna be good at wrestling too, and, like, I got kicked out of school at this time. But when I saw that they had to wear the singlets, I was like, oh no, I'm out, dog.
I didn't mind it. You know, I mean, I wore it up till I was like 20, 21, 22. You know, so
it's kind of crazy that I remember back then looking at wrestling, like, you know, it wasn't such as big as a martial art as it is now. You know what I mean? When you really look at, like, what fighting really is and all the different aspects of it, those are all different martial arts, and wrestling is one of the most important. It turns out to be one of the most important ones out of all of them. So you got to kind of start. So you competed all the way through high school and all that.
Yeah. So I competed in high school, and then went to Santa Ana College. So in Santa Ana College, that's where I got more of my confidence, under.
So you're competing in college too?
Yeah, under Coach Vince Silva. He's a D1 All-American for the Cowboys in Oklahoma. And, from there, wrestled 49s my first year, All-American there. And then went up to 57s, All-American there my second year. Then I moved on to the University of Nebraska Kearney.
Oh, damn. You went to
So I went to a D2 school, and then I was kind of like the backup, And then, I didn't get to finish off, compete like postseason. But, I got a lot of great experience.
Lots of wrestling.
Lots of wrestling, a bunch of D1 schools, big tournaments. So, and then even within our room, we had a lot of great competition. And
that's where the toughest fights are,
exactly.
in the room, right?
In the room. And then from there, just started wanted to compete more. Still had a year left of school left. And, 4 months later, started training at Kearney Combat Sports with my first coach, Richie Barajas in Kearney.
You're talking about MMA?
MMA, yeah.
So let me ask you this, right? When you start wrestling and stuff, did you have in the back of your mind that you wanted to do MMA, or was it just just doing wrestling?
No, not at all. I would always watch it on TV, and I always like UFC and MMA in general. And then,
but you weren't doing it for that.
Yeah. I never thought I would, but. Once I got done wrestling and still going to school, there was a local gym and just tried it out. And, I started training full MMA, and
right off the bat?
Yeah, off the bat. And then, 4 months later, had my first amateur fight.
Damn, that quick, huh?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, right? Like, when you're that good at wrestling and when you wrestle at, like, the college level, like, MMA is going to be an easy transition because you know what hard work is. You know what I mean? A wrestling room is sometimes harder than any other practice you could do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, so you start deciding to do MMA. What was it about MMA? Like you go do your first class. Did you have any striking experience, or was this all off the bat? They were like, "Come try MMA."
Yeah. No. It was first off the bat. All I knew was just taking people down and ground and pound just from what you see on TV. But,
and you didn't need to stress on the striking off the bat because you had that skill.
Yeah, and just a lot of film study. Try to emulate other fighters, but bro, just dabbled into it right away. And first fight I got a second round TKO. So then just started going from there. Yeah,
and you made no money.
No money. But what attracted me from wrestling to MMA was just the grind. Just that and just winning, of course.
You're an athlete. You like competition. You like bettering yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I always tell people, like, however you get tired in a wrestling match or in a wrestling room, it's just like an MMA fight. So that's why I still continue to wrestle and push myself and. I feel like wrestling's a great conditioning for MMA.
So how long do you stay out there and do your amateur career? When do you?
So I stayed out there for
because you started in college, right?
Yeah. So I started in college. Yeah. So I was out there. I had three amateur fights.
3 amateur fights.
Yeah. So pretty much I fought out there for like a year.
Okay. Yeah. And then what made you want to come back?
So I was always gonna move back to California. California is my home, bro, Santa Ana, and the gym was good, but I just knew that to get somewhere where I wanted to, I needed to spread out and just, try something different.
Yeah.
And that's when I moved to Eric Paulson, CSW, under
Coach CSW. Did you know of Eric Paulson when you moved, or like you just had to run into him?
So before I moved, I actually came to the gym twice.
Okay.
Because my buddy Joey Dorado was training there already. So he brought me in once, and then I came again, and then I finally moved at the end of November of 2018.
2018, damn! Shout out Eric Paulson, one of the best coaches in the game, for sure. Hands down, OG. He's been on the show multiple times. If you guys haven't seen that podcast, go scroll back and you can check Eric Paulson out. So you started with one of the best coaches you could have out here when you came back.
Yeah, so I was with Coach Paulson and then Coach Ben Jones as well.
Oh yeah. He's got his own place now too, right?
He's got his own place now, the Den Training Center.
The Den Training Center. Shout out them. Shout out Eric Paulson. Shout out Eric Paulson. So you come here, and what is Eric? What's your reaction like with Eric? What'd you think of him as a coach?
I mean, he was.
He's dope. He's funny too.
He's a great people, and dude, the first practice I think it was a grappling one, and he's like, oh, like you got good wrestling. So then he just, you know, he liked the way I was wrestling and just wanted me to keep coming. And yeah, from there, you know, I went to a sparring day, and that was good. And I really liked that because, I mean, I had never trained with, you know, tough people like
pros
that.
and stuff.
And pros as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, I just liked it. And, you know, once I moved back, that was the gym
that started
fit my style, you know, like just from coming from wrestling to, you know, catch wrestling, the striking aspect, just everything just fit well with my style. And that's why I chose it, because I went to like Black House, I went to Rufus Sport, and yeah, it just didn't fit my style, you know. And CSW was here in California, and you know, I really like the catch wrestling aspect of it.
Yeah, you gotta love it. You know, it's I believe like it's a big part of jiu-jitsu. Honestly, you know, there's the darker side of jiu-jitsu, I believe is you know, so, you know, the wrestling, the combat submission wrestling.
Exactly, yeah.
That's great, man. So you start training with Eric, and then did you have a manager at that time or anything, or you were like you were just kind of picking your own?
No, yeah, just Coach Ben would get our fights. You know, yeah, he would get my amateur fights. So I fought. I fought my first fight 2019 January Star, and I lost that first one. So a split decision, and then from there kept training, and then I went on winning like I think like 5 fights as an amateur, won a belt as well. And then,
I have your record. That's what I was saying. You went through like you went through a lot of, because I thought I was like, damn, 11-1 as a pro, like you know what I mean, like how many amateur fights? But you had a bunch of amateur fights too.
I had 8 as well.
Yeah, and there's only, I see one loss. Just a split decision.
Yeah, both losses been a split decision.
The only losses you have in your career are split decisions. That's crazy. And you know, those fights can go either way, you know, because the judging in MMA is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Still to this day.
Yep, I know.
There's people that got no.
We need fighters in those judging chairs.
There's some of those guys in there that got no business.
Yeah.
That they got. I've seen, like, you know, it's starting to change though. You know, you see Chris Lieben out there. You know what I mean. You see the referees starting to become fighters and stuff like that. So I think once the sport evolves a little bit more, that will change for sure. And once, you know, more of the fighters get involved with the judging, I think it'll be more even.
Yeah, I think it'll help out a lot more, you know.
So you train with Eric Paulson. Well, you have a great amateur career. And how does the decision work to go pro and all that?
Yeah, so I mean, during that time, pretty much Coach Ben Jones was the one that was running the whole fight team, so we were mainly under him. But Coach Paulson, we were going for the jiu-jitsu at night, you know. So pretty much COVID hit, so 2020 put a pause on my career, and then I didn't get to debut till 2021.
So you were amateur until COVID, and then you were gonna you had to wait. Oh man,
because I lost my first. I fought my last amateur fight in January of 2020, so right before COVID hit.
And all for Sparstar, right?
Yeah, for Sparstar.
Shout out Sparstar,
Tony.
One of the greatest like amateur promotions you could ever be a part of. It's like, if you're gonna do pro MMA, that's like the spot to really get your you know, get your feet wet, as they say. All right, so you decide to go pro, and what does your family and everybody think about you doing MMA and like the fighting at this point? Like, did they take you serious and stuff?
Yeah, no, I mean, they've been supporting since the first one. You know, I mean, my parents were the ones that were kind of like not into it at first, but after they saw that even my first amateur fight, they were like, "All right, this kid might have a future in this."
Might have something, yeah.
And yeah, dude, they've been supportive, you know, since the beginning. And you know, any fights outside, out of state, they try to travel, but any local fights, they're there.
Yeah, you'll get to the point where you fly them in jets, bro. Don't even trip. That's amazing. You know, I know how important it is to have family behind you, and especially your mother and father, because you know you want their blessing in life to, you know, in whatever you do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So having that support and you know, it'll make, okay, I can really go all in with this. and you know, you had the college background of wrestling, and so you made, I believe you made a smart choice. So tell me, you start your pro career, you're training, your pro career starts going good. You start rattling off a bunch of wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're you know, you go. You go 6-0 before you have your first loss, which is in LFA, which was a split decision. At this time, are you still training with the same crew?
Yeah. So I trained with Coach Ben and the Badgers crew till about my eighth fight.
Eighth fight.
Yeah.
So you were with them for a while, a lot of your career, and then you had your split decision loss. You've won by submission. You've won by TKO. You've won by decision. You've done it all. What's your favorite way to win, dog?
TKO. I mean, I just like getting finishes. You know?
Do you like as far as mixed martial arts? What's your favorite part of the fight? Like, if you have your pick of like what you like to do to guys, is you like to Khabib them? You like to stay on the feet?
Yeah, I mean,
or it doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it doesn't really matter. But I mean, now my last fight, you know, I was able to display good boxing, you know, and just everything, just all striking in general, and you know, even my groundwork from the bottom, you know, just hitting this fool with like I don't know how many elbows I hit him.
Yeah.
But, you know, just staying busy. But yeah, dude, I mean, anywhere I like to take the
anywhere. Don't matter. You don't have like a specific place.
Yeah, but for sure fell in love more with the striking the past couple of years.
That's what the fans want to see, right? Yep. It's fun and it's exciting, and that's what everybody likes to see. I think also, if you're a great wrestler, if you have a good top game and good striking on the like with the ground and pound, that's also very exciting, and you got that style too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna do well for you. So you start you train with them. Then what happens? You have a change of team or
yeah. So after my fight in March last year, I was looking to move on, and then that's when I was already kind of training with Danny.
Shout out Danny Silva.
Yeah, Danny Silva, and then and Cub, and with the Bloodline guys.
Oh, you were training with them already?
Yeah, here and there. And then after that fight in Kentucky, I pretty much decided to join the team.
Yeah, because Cub had trained with Eric Paulson. Shout out Cub Swanson.
Yeah, shout out to Cub.
I trained with Cub. I rolled with Cub back in the days, and Cub has always been a savage as long as I've known. Yeah, and it's crazy to see like what the evolvement of what he's doing now with building the team and everything. And I remember when he opened the UFC gym with I think he opened it with Mike, right? Mike Bisping.
Yeah.
And the shout out UFC gym. It's in Harbor in Costa Mesa, and great gym. And I noticed because Cub used to travel a lot. Cub used to be in Palm Springs and all over the place. And then I heard Cub was gonna start really kind of, you know, doing his own thing out here and building a team, and it's crazy what he's doing with you guys. You know what I mean?
We've been pretty successful this year. I think we're undefeated.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have a great group of guys that are, you know, on the same page, motivated, and we're there for each other, and, you know, we keep each other accountable, and I feel like that's a big part of what's bringing us success.
Now Cub's still fighting, right? So that's what's another thing that's crazy. Cub's you know, Cub's crazy. Cub's like, he's had so many fights and still going. Cub's manager, I don't know if you ever met Kami.
Yeah, I met him one time at Danny's fight.
Yeah, rest in peace to Kami. That was my boy. He was the one that used to bring Cub around, you know. So because Cub's first coach Ramon Diaz was my first coach, and then I moved back to Santa Ana because I got off probation and stuff, and I met Joe Morera, who was you know, and Cub used to train with Joe, so it was like that's how I met Cub. But Cub's one of those guys that's just like, he's evolved with the sport.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that fought in his time back in the day that are done, that have walked away from the sport. But through the years, you see Cub always just kept getting better and better and better. Tell me, like, just your opinion. What is it like about the style of how he runs the room? Is he one of the main coaches for you guys?
Yeah. He's one of the main coaches for us. He's there every day, you know, helping us out. And then, I mean, when he has a fight, we also get to help him out. You know, he's always open for opinions, you know. But, Yeah, I mean, he's there helping us out. And
What's the recipe? What's the recipe to the sauce? Like, because I've seen some of you guys' training videos. I'm very familiar with the team. You know, I've had a bunch of the guys on my podcast. I noticed you guys train with the smaller gloves.
Yeah.
And I see a very technical sparring and stuff.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, like when I see that, it tells me you got a good coach.
Yeah.
Because if you guys are able to get in there and spar with the little gloves and not knock each other out and be able to actually push each other hard, then that's the proper way, in my opinion, to train MMA.
Yeah.
So is that kind of what you guys got going on over there?
Yeah. So I mean, we mostly train in like little puffy gloves, but yeah, I think the main thing is he lets us be free. You know, like we each fighter in there has their own style.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, he tweaks some things in there, and then of course when somebody has a fight, we try to emulate each other's opponents. You know, but also the thing is no egos. You know, nobody in there has an ego, and we're there to play. You know, and of course Fridays we get to spar, so we spar pretty much Tuesdays and Fridays, but Friday's the day that we get go a little bit harder. But yeah, dude, it's just, you know, being free.
You need some time to recover after those Fridays, huh?
Yeah, but it's still controlled, you know. And then we get a bunch of people that come in, you know, some outsiders, but yeah, dude, I think it's just no egos, and then just we're all there to help each other and be free. You know, he lets us be free and do our own style, because everybody has their own thing, and that's why, you know, we've been elevating.
And you guys got a lot of guys around the same weight class that are pushing each other. Like I'd love to see you and Danny spar. That would be.
Yeah, it's mainly 45ers and, you know, 55ers.
55ers, yeah, it's a good group.
35ers as well.
Good group of guys. Good camp that's building, and you guys are doing big things. And I know there's a lot more to come from that.
Yeah.
So you start training with Cub, and now is Cub your manager now? Is in the Bloodline family, like, because I know Kami's brother's still around, right?
Yeah, it's his cousin.
His cousin.
Yeah, Monty.
Shout out him. Shout out him.
Shout out to Monty. So it's Monty and Cub that run the Bloodline management and the team.
And you know, having people that care about you like them, is priceless.
Very family based.
That's what I'm saying. It's priceless to have type of support behind you, and somebody, you know, at the same time that's, you know, been through it all, right? With Cub, like,
exactly.
That's great. So you start training with Cub. You go on a tear. You recently had a fight.
Yeah.
You just became the lightweight champion of the world for LFA. And for those of you guys that don't know LFA, they are, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, the biggest MMA promotion outside that feeds to the UFC.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a fact. It's not something, you know, I've even had Ed on the show, and he said, you know, we've said the same thing. So it's like, you know, you can't doubt that. So becoming a world champion at 155 in one of the biggest organizations outside the UFC. So take me through it, bro. Take me through the fight. Yeah. Take me through like how the feeling of becoming a champion, all that.
Yeah, I mean, so I was supposed to have this fight back in December. You know, my opponent ended up pulling out, so I had another one. And then that fight didn't. I mean, I still won, but it wasn't the best performance. I mean, I had a bad knee, and, you know, still fought with the infected knee and got it done. But yeah, you know, got this fight like in February, so got rebooked. And I mean, I already knew the dude was running, you know, so I was like, dude, this dude don't want to fight me. But yeah, he's a wrestler, you know, he has all these accolades, but to me, I knew he didn't like to fight, like he didn't like to get hit, you know. So you know, I've been sharpening up my boxing with my boxing coach Dale Roybal, you know, since I moved since I started training with him in 2019. And I feel like a lot of that showed in the fight, you know, also with Coach Anthony, you know, got some elbows in, some kicks. And then, you know, the ground game with Professor Felipe de la Monica from
Gracie Baja. Shout out them,
yeah. So, you know, and then Cub, and then all my teammates just, you know, yeah, they prepared me well. And I mean, I was confident going into the fight, you know. Yeah, like I said, he didn't like to get hit. You know, even though he got the first takedown in the first round, I just kept hitting him with elbows. I knew he didn't like that. Second round, boxed him up. put up my socks up and said, "What's up, homie? Let's go." And then
get after it.
Yeah, third round, get taken down again, but I think I landed, for sure landed more strikes than him, and they were pretty much all elbows and punches from the bottom. And same thing, fourth round, he takes me down, and the ref stands us up, and off the clinch, I hit him with a nice elbow, and he was running, and caught him against the cage, broke his nose, and at that point, they should have almost stopped it in the fourth, but got to the fifth, and I knew he was gonna shoot, so I saw him shoot desperation shots, and just sprawled and took care of it from there.
Took care of business, finished him off.
Yeah,
it was a great victory. I saw the emotions on your face, man. You could tell you'd been, all the hard work, was coming to fruition, and now they can't deny you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got the belt now. How would your parents say?
They're happy.
They're
happy.
See, I told you, Mom. I told you, Dad. That's probably one of the best feelings in the world, to be able to show your family, like, look, I know it didn't seem like this could happen, but look, I'm doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then just from the beginning, I never really thought about the belt. All I thought about was just getting a finish and finishing this guy, because, I haven't had a finish since, I think, like, my 7th fight or something like that. So, dude, I just thought about, finishing this body in front of me, and that's what happened, and the belt, and of course the title of world champion came after it. But I just wanted to get a finish.
Hell yeah. We got a champion from Santa Ana. So tell me this. Now what's up? Now that you got the belt, now you're the 155-pound world champion of LFA. Are you're going to defend the title a couple times over there? What's the plan? What's the plan?
So we'll see what's up, with the UFC. That's what I really want right now.
Yeah.
If I have to defend, then I'll defend, but
that doesn't happen very much once you become LFA champion, right? And you got Cub and all them behind you. Yeah, I don't see you fighting there too many more times.
Yeah. So I've had 9 fights with them, so pretty much.
You did your thing.
Yeah, I did my thing. So I hope one of these lightweights slip on a banana peel and I can take their spot.
That's why I said, I was like, we got to do the podcast now, because I knew he's going to be fighting in the UFC next. So and you deserve it. You did the grind. I believe you surrounded yourself with some really great people, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Being a mixed martial artist is not an easy job. There's a lot of different areas you got to cover.
Exactly.
From the strength and conditioning to to recovery to people don't know what it's like to put your body through that. Unless they actually train. So it's a lot of work to get to where you got to.
Yeah.
Now tell me this: say you get a call for the UFC. Danny's fighting at featherweight, right?
Yeah, featherweight.
So you guys are in. You guys could both end up at the top of of both those weight classes. Now that would be the ultimate. That would be sick to see. But let's talk about the lightweight division in the UFC a little bit. You being a champion, what do you think about Islam? What do you think about the champ?
Yeah, he's good, bro. I can see myself, fighting with him, even if he stays up there, But I would like to compete with some of those guys at the top, but work my way up the ladder. That's how I started with LFA, and just with any fight, take every fight one fight at a time.
One fight at a time, yeah.
And I just keep.
Who's your favorite fighter?
Dustin Poirier.
He's a fan. He's a fan favorite. He's had some great fights. He's gonna be fighting, I guess, Holloway again. Holloway 3 for his retirement fight.
Yeah,
they should both. I like Max. I like Dustin. Fan. I've been watching them for years. I think they should both. That should be their last fight. You know what I mean?
We'll see. But I know Dustin beat him twice already. So
yeah. And I think
plays out.
I think they should sail off in the sunset after that.
Yeah.
Because especially after seeing Topuria against Max.
Yeah, and he just bumped up too right now.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? That's another big fight.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think of Topuria? What are your thoughts on Topuria?
Topuria's good, bro. I really like his style as well. I like imitating his style.
He's got crisp boxing.
Crisp boxing. He's you know, he's got good wrestling as well. You know, he submitted Bryce Mitchell. I mean, like, yeah, I think he's a pretty he's a really good world-rounded fighter, you know.
In my opinion, the lightweight division of the UFC is probably one of the funnest divisions, you know, to be a part of. So you're gonna have some exciting matchups.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of the guys are, you know, slowly starting to on their way out too.
Yeah, a lot of those top guys are pretty much, you know, on their way out. Like you said, all the probably like I want to say top 5, top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at it earlier. And like, if you look at you got Charles Oliveira, Gaethje, Poirier, Chandler, Dariush. I competed against Dariush back in the day in jiu-jitsu. Okay. Yeah, so that's how I know they're getting old, bro. You know what I mean? You got Dos Anjos, and you know, it's just like a lot of these names are slowly gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
There's gonna be a turnover
coming up.
Yeah. So, and you guys are the new generation, and so, yeah, man, I'm excited for you, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
We're rooting you on, and you know, I wanted to make sure to have you on the show because you know, the people that watch the show. They want to see the best of the best, so you know, I know when someone's headed there, so I could tell. Anything else that we could touch on, bro? Like, what do you think right now? Who do you think's the best fighter in the game?
In the game,
like as far as mixed martial artists, who's your like? I know you like DP, but like, who do you think is like the best guy right now?
Any weight class?
Any weight class.
For sure, John Jones, bro. He's you know.
Everybody says that.
Yeah, John Jones is good. You know, just the way he studies people, breaks people down. But Ilya Tapura is really good too.
Let me ask you this: are you excited to start doing the 12-6?
Yeah, I did hit a couple 12-6. Yeah, I did hit a couple 12-6.
It's crazy that some of the rules like that they ban. You know, it's like
yeah. But I mean, it opens up a lot of you know, for more finishes, and you know, I mean they don't like that shit, you know. So.
Yeah, man. Like I tell my students, right? Because we have this thing that I call the car key, and like in jiu-jitsu, I'll take my knuckles and I'll like do that just to get a reaction, so they would like try to push away or whatever, you know. And I tell them,
little dirty grappling.
If you but I'm saying like though, if you can't handle that, what do you think a punch is gonna feel like?
Exactly.
You're definitely gonna move then, you know. So if you can't handle somebody doing that, then you shouldn't be doing jiu-jitsu. You know, move, like defend it.
You gotta get a little rough sometimes, you know.
Hell yeah. Are you what are your thoughts on jiu-jitsu? Do you like jiu-jitsu? What belts are you in jiu-jitsu?
I'm a purple belt under Eric Paulson.
Yeah. Shout out Eric, man. Eric. One thing about Eric that I will say is that man knows so many moves.
He's encyclopedic.
Like it's crazy.
He was ahead of his time, you know, when he started. Like, Coach is a pioneer, and I'm actually gonna go see him sometime this week, and he always invites me, you know, to come out. But just the way how I structure my training, you know, sometimes like this one I had to do a little bit more wrestling and more grappling. So did it more with Felipe and did it more like wrestling at Santa Ana College. And you know, but I always love going to Coach Eric's classes.
Yeah, he's got some great knowledge, man, and especially with you being as high level wrestler as you are, you know, you get on top and knowing all the different things you could do to somebody. That's the best thing, you know, for a good wrestler. On top of you know your strike and all that, bro.
Yeah, and I call myself a catch wrestler too. You know, when they announce me, that's my style. It's catch wrestler.
Respect. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Eric, man. Back in the days, Eric used to come to my gym and teach some classes here and there, and he was trying to steal me from my coach. Like, who's that kid? He's like, is he staying here? Like, but yeah, shout out Eric. But yeah, bro, world champion, looking for the UFC.
Yep.
Training with Cub and the team, man. You got big things coming for you, bro. I wanted to have you on, tell your story. We're looking for big things out of you, bro. You know, and I'm sure your team and everyone around you feels the same. Next time you have a fight, we'll have you back on, and hopefully we'll be talking about your first UFC fight. Anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to give props to or anything? Now's the time. Shout them out, bro. The floor is yours.
Yeah, you know, shout out to you know, everybody from Santa Ana supporting. My teammates, my coaches, Cub, my managers, Monty, and my coaches, Felipe, De La Monica, Anthony, Coach Dale Roybal, Coach Chad with Juggernaut Training. Thank you guys, and thank you for having me. It's great pressure, and 714 Santana.
714 Santa Ana all day. We coming for that belt. We coming for that lightweight belt with the homie right here. Hey, look, respect, bro. Thank you for being here. Santa Ana all day and the night too. Like I always say, Richie Miranda, guys. El Machete, the champion of LFA. Be on the lookout for him in the UFC soon. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Hi, this is Arash Hashemi. For over 20 years, my practice has been dedicated to representing people accused of crimes. There's no criminal case we don't handle here. From a simple petty theft to serious charges such as murder, I have the knowledge and experience needed to help guide you through the court system. Here at my firm, we treat you like family. We listen to your story, help you understand your rights, guide you through every step of the court system, answer your questions, and make sure you know what you're facing so you can sleep easy at night. If you or if anybody you know needs an attorney, remember, better call Hash.
What up, everybody? Quick second out of the podcast to shout out one of my sponsors. Man, after 20 years of jiu-jitsu and MMA, my body's messed up all the time. Shoulders, knees, back, neck, you name it. I only go to one place. They've been taking care of me for years, and they'll take care of you. Home of some of the best fighters in the world, best UFC fighters, best mixed martial arts fighters in the world. Kessler Wellness. Come check them out if you ever get injured. They're going to take care of you just like they take care of me. Come on in.
Hating on me. Hey. And I know it. Watching everything that I do.
Shout out to the homeboy Damo and Big Joker, Big Box.
They been watching, hating on everything I do. They don't wanna see me shining. They just wanna see me struggling, and I know it. They been watching, hating on everything I do. They don't wanna see me shining. They just wanna see me struggling, and I know it. I'm drunk all the time these days. It seems like I'm caught in a maze and trying to make it out with.
Man, I feel way better. Y'all come check out OC Fight Docs, Kessler Wellness. Appreciate you, Doc. You're the best in the business.
I guess they mad when you a grown man. They shoot you down in your homeland. All your face in life and got a program.
What up, y'all? Come check out my boys over here at the I Smoke. Come on in, man. We got everything here in Santa Ana. You guys come down to the shop, tell them Legacy sent you, and man, we got everything you can think of. Take a look around, bro. Go check out all the products, man. Y'all need to tap in with my boys. They look after us. They check the Convo podcast, and we love them. So support those that support us. All right, peace. West Coast.